Today I'm going to talk about something that is extremely important, and that is the word value. In business especially, adding value is so important. If you have customers and you are not adding value to them, they are not going to continue doing business with you. And I'm going to make a hot take. And that hot take is that as a business owner or a salesperson or whatever it is that you do, the best way to sell more things is not to lower price. Sure, you might get a few more people in the door if you drop price or say 10% off or there's a sale here, sale there. But I think that in the long term, the most effective thing that you can do is to focus not on lowering price, but focus on increasing value. Now, in order to kind of describe what I'm saying a little more in depth, I need to tell you about what's called the price to value discrepancy, okay? Now, you know what they say, when value exceeds price, a transaction is going to occur, okay? So say that this hand that I have right here is value, and this hand right here, let's say, is price. We want to create as much of a discrepancy between these two things as we possibly can. So what are the two ways that we can increase this discrepancy? Well, the first thing we can do is we can drop price for somebody. So you're very tempted to drop price because that's the easy thing to do to get more sales. Well, if I charge way less for this item, people are just going to come and they're going to buy it. And you might be right about that, but I'm going to explain why it's way more effective to do something else, and that is to increase value. You'll notice that both create more of a discrepancy. Lower price, more discrepancy. Raise value, more of a discrepancy. I would even argue that you should raise your price and raise your value, and that's going to be the best experience for the homeowner or customer or whoever you're helping, and also for you, because you're going to be bringing in more revenue that's going to give you more opportunity to build the business and add even more value to homeowners or customers or whoever it might be that you're helping out. So you might be wondering, well, how do I add more value? If I don't want to just drop price to increase this discrepancy, how do I add more value to increase the discrepancy? And I'm going to tell you. So the best definition of value can be described through a framework that was created by Alex Hormozi, who is somebody that I really look up to. He's a big entrepreneur. He owns acquisition.com. He's a big content creator online. And I've learned so much from him, including this value equation. Now, the value equation, it describes how we can increase that price to value discrepancy without dropping price. And the way that we do that is through this framework that I'm going to show you. So you want to, or what it is the dream outcome multiplied by perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay multiplied by effort and sacrifice equals value. Now, it's important to understand when you look at this, we want to maximize the top and minimize the bottom. That means we want to maximize people's dream outcome, and we want to minimize their time delay, minimize effort and sacrifice, maximize perceived likelihood of achievement. Hopefully that makes sense. It's extremely simple. So I'm going to give an example, say, of weight loss. Say that I'm a gym owner and I want people to lose weight. That's my product that I'm selling. I'm selling fitness programs, gym memberships, things like that. And I want to show you kind of how it would relate to this value equation. So the dream outcome for somebody that is looking to join a gym, what is it? It's to get super, super fit. You want to sell them the vacation. You want to help people understand, hey, this is the dream and I'm going to help you get there. I'm going to help you get that six-pack or whatever it is that they might be. We want to maximize the dream outcome and how real it is to these people that we're helping. The next one is we want to maximize perceived likelihood of achievement. How would you do that with a gym? Well, I think a really good way is to show testimonials, show reviews, show people that, hey, this guy, Gary, he's exactly like you, and look what he did in 6 months. He was able to totally transform his body. And what it does for that customer is it helps them perceive that there's very high likelihood they achieve, and that is so valuable. Now, the next part of the value equation is to decrease time delay and decrease effort and sacrifice. So decrease time delay. One thing Alex Hormozi says that I love is if you want to start a successful business, do what somebody else does, but do it in half the time. So if I was a gym owner, I would figure out a way that I can help these customers to have the lowest amount of time possible to get their dream body. And then I would explain to them all the things we're going to do to minimize that time. I would also make it so that they have really quick rewards. So when they first join the gym, help them to recognize the immediate weight that they're losing in such a short amount of time. That is extremely valuable if you're able to minimize time delay in that sense. The other thing is effort and sacrifice. You want to minimize how much work this customer has to do. I'm creating the meal plan for you. I'm doing XYZ for you so that you don't have to. All you have to focus on is showing up every day, and I'm going to give you the full program, the full meal plan, whatever it is. You want them to have as little effort and sacrifice as possible when it comes to them achieving their dream outcome. That is extremely valuable. So these are just a few examples of things that you can do where if you're adding these things, there's no reason why you need to drop your price. If anything, you should raise your price because you're adding an infinite amount of value. And what's crazy about this that kind of blew my mind is realizing that people actually perceive more value from something if it costs more money. An example of this is, say you're on Amazon and you're looking to buy kitchen trash bags. And there's one option that is $1 for 50 bags, and then there's another option that's $8 for 50 bags. I don't know about you, but every single time I would buy the $8 one. And the reason is because I'm pretty sure that the one that's $1, they're gonna have holes in them. They're not gonna be very efficient at all. They're probably gonna start leaking. I would much rather pay a little bit more for much more valuable of a product because I know that it's gonna work the way that I need it to. So hopefully this concept helps you understand how important value is, understanding sort of the value equation and helping people to perceive as much value from you as possible, and how when you do that, you don't have to drop price in order to increase your sales or increase your revenue, whatever it might be. The best, most effective thing that you can do is to increase the price to value discrepancy by increasing your value and maybe even increasing your price. It's gonna put you in the best situation as a business owner, as a salesperson, because you're able to gain more money, you're able to add it, put it into the business, and these customers that you're helping, they perceive that they're getting a ton of value and that what they're paying is totally worth it.